Let's talk about local marketing strategy. We are up to part 7. So if you're a local business, what do you need to be focusing on when it comes to your social media? Now, this is for local businesses, so either like a brick and mortar local store, or your audience and your client base, your consumers are very, very local to you. You're not really interested in like attracting interstate travelers or overseas or online massive services. It's very much something that you do person to person, one-on-one. You see your clients and they have a service from you that they get. I totally just rambled. But anyway, we talk about a lot of different things. We talk about flyers, pull tabs, business cards, branding, signage, all that type of stuff. Let's actually talk about social media now. Because your social media strategy as a local business focused on a local audience is going to look very, very different to a online business or someone who is focused on a global audience or someone who's focused on business to business audience. It's very different. Your social media strategy really, like in terms of your outbound, like your presence of what you're posting is not going to have to be as intense as someone who has a purely online based business. So you could probably get away with posting like 1, 2, 3 times a week, not having like a massive selling strategy around it, because it's really just going to come back to trust and visibility. It's going to be the thing that people go and just check to make sure that you are a legitimate business, or it's going to be the thing that they are tagging when they use your service. So for example, like I've got an appointment with my financial advisor today, and they're going to tag your financial advising company, or just popped in to get coffee from this cafe. It's going to be more of like a home base for people to check in, to share, to refer people to. It's going to be the place that they check. It's not going to be like heavy selling and exposure. And this is good because it makes your life so much easier. So you're just going to focus on doing between 1 to 3 posts a week, and then big on resharing other people's content. So any of that user generated content that comes in, people that tag you, people that comment, people that leave reviews, that type of thing is really keeping that engagement up, resharing, and making sure you're responding to all comments that come in. But here's the area that you are going to pay a little bit of extra. Oh my God, stop snoring. That you are going to pay a little bit of extra attention to. It's just my Frenchie, by the way. She is napping in my office and she snores. Facebook group engagement. This is one of the best local strategies to grow your business, because people are using local Facebook groups as essentially like a search engine. They are. We know it because we've seen it, and it's super annoying when someone's like, just moved to the area and I'm looking for the best doctor. You're probably thinking to yourself, just fucking Google it, bitch. But that's the point. People could Google it, and instead they're going into these Facebook groups because they want recommendations from real people, from people who live in the area, from people who use the services. And while it can be super annoying and often create a lot of controversy and drama, it's also really good for your marketing if you know how to do it. One of the best things to do to get started, apart from just being in these groups, paying attention and setting aside 10 minutes a day to just respond. If anyone's like, I'm looking for a cleaner in this area, and being like, hey, that is what I do. How can I help you? And then following up with that person. But you can actually use this as well. If there's not a lot of like movement happening for your particular service in the group, you can go use the search function and actually put in keywords and see if other people previously have been searching for the service or whatever it is that you offer. And there's nothing hurting just going back in those comments and leaving something like, hey, I saw you were looking for a graphic designer. Did you manage to find someone? If you're still looking or you need a bit of support, let me know. And you can kind of like reinvigorate some of these dusty Facebook groups by going to find old posts of what people were looking for, and likewise just paying attention to them. And I like to tell my clients to set aside like 5 to 10 minutes a day to just check in their local groups. You're not posting spammy stuff about your next sale or what's going on. There's another strategy to do that works really well that I'm not going to share if you do want to promote through the Facebook groups, but you're more using it as a way to be found and to keep on top of, like, if someone is searching for something that you do or a recommendation, actually just putting yourself forward and being like, hey, this is what I do. Once again, this strategy works incredibly well. I built my first business, my spray tanning company, purely off a strategy like this. This is before a website. I think it was even before Instagram was really a thing. And I built my entire business up very, very successful over 8 years, just using Facebook groups like this and just being tagged. And it would get to the point where there would be someone be like, I'm looking for a spray tan in the area. And I would be tagged 40 times underneath those comments, to the point now where that business has actually been closed for the last 3 years. And I still get probably 1 call a week asking if they can book in for a spray tan with me, because people still have my old business cards. They have all the information, even though my brand is not available publicly anymore. People are still referring me from work I did 8 to 10 years ago for them. Actually, yeah, it would be 10 years because my daughter just turned 10 and I started that business when I was pregnant with her. Oh my God, that's ages. But in a nutshell, that strategy can work really, really well. You have to leverage Facebook groups if you are a local business. Stay tuned for part 8.